Hi guys, how we going? Right, let's try and read some of your messages. Let's move this a bit nearer to me. So I'll quickly read your messages. It's defending Elvis Presley. Fans want the truth. My name's Louis. I'm in Southwest UK near Bristol. I'm an avid Elvis fan. I've been a fan for over 50 years, and with Team Elvis, who are our subscribers and our members. If you're new to this channel, we defend Elvis Presley. We defend Elvis Presley. Right, so I need to just inform everyone that I'm live, which I forgot to do. I know I'm late. I send my best wishes to you and Laura, Speedy Co-editor. Right, so I just got to quickly tell everyone, guys, I'm really sorry. So let me just tell everyone. So I hope you're all well. I've done a video. I've just finished making a video, and we're gonna watch it together. Right, so let's just tell everyone on defending Elvis. So I have posted the new video. Let's have a look. Let's just go here. Let's tell everyone I'm live. I don't know why it keeps coming up with that, but let's have a look. Live. Let's see if that's got. I don't know why it's got this weird thing that says post anonymously, but I'm not going to post anonymously. Right. Live. Right. Okay. Let's just tell a few other people who we got on. We got Linda, Lorna, Sandra, Gillian in Canada, Caroline, and Jean. Let's just have a double check. Teresa, hi Teresa. I think that's everyone. Hope I haven't missed anyone. Stacy, hi Stacy. And Diana, of course. So quickly just tell a few others because I've forgotten a few. Let's have a look. Let's see. So we haven't told. Let's tell Lorraine. Lorraine will be asleep. She's in Australia, isn't she? So it's sleep time. Deborah might also be asleep. Deborah, are you there? Now, I'm not going to discuss the diet. I think we had a brilliant discussion about the diet. Great one. Really, really, really good. So this one is about Elvis. Now, I have decided, let me just quickly tell everyone, I'm going to start trying to do at least 1 or 2 videos a week, not live videos, and post them as videos and maybe some shorts. So what was the topic of the live today? I think Diana, I think you'll like it. It was more than one topic. It ended up being about the diet for the last 20 minutes, but it was a very long live, Diana. It was 1 hour and 20 minutes long. I found some old archive footage. I wanted to go through that, and there was a few other bits. So I'm going to play the video in a second that I've just made. And that will give you a feel for what we were talking about. So it was definitely, I thought it was a great video. We've done 2 lives today because I've had the day off because my wife was out with the kids all day. So I've had a lot of time. Right, I'm just quickly telling everyone that we're live. So there's Colleen, Lisa. It's actually Lisa. Lisa was laughing at because her husband laughs. I call her Lessa, but her name's Lisa. Lisa, are you on? Lessa? Let's have a look. So we've got Cherie. And we have Melissa. Melissa, are you on? Sometimes Melissa's asleep. Let's have a look. A lot of you sometimes are just fast asleep because you're in a different time zone. Don't forget, we're in the UK. It's 5:45. So I would have thought you guys start waking up now. Okay, let's have a look. So we've got, some of you, not all of you join us. Some of you are busy. Let's have a look. Okay, let's try and message as many people as we can. I feel if I don't message everyone, I feel guilty because you remind me later and you say, "Oh, you forgot to message me." So, okay, I'm going to start it off. I do have a cup of tea. It's not going to last long. I'm going to start it off with the video I made. Now, it won't be crystal clear. Hi, Tracy. It won't be crystal clear. It's not that long. 6 or 6, maybe. It's going to take a few minutes. Right, so Catherine's just messaged me. Let me tell Catherine that we're live now. Okay. Hi, Jane. How you going? Right, Right. You can tell me what you think of it, guys. Hi, guys. Here. It's going to be a bit echoey because I did it in here. I hope you like it. I'm at the moment. I've got a bit of a thing where I want to play some archive footage. So send me archive footage, guys. I'm going to make up some videos and do some live stream using archive footage. I just enjoy it. I like. Let me just get it on here. Let's get it on my stand. I do like anything that takes me back. Are you guys the same? Where we just feel like we're back in the 80s, back in the 70s. Some of you back in the 60s, and a very few of you back in the 50s. I like it. I like the way it makes me feel. It's almost like watching an Elvis film. You know, when you watch an Elvis film and it just takes you back in time and you remember watching it at home with your family, with your brother, with your sister, with your parents. Some of you would have lost your parents. Some of you would have lost a brother or a sister. But when you watch this old footage, you're still sat with your brother, your sister, your cousins, your mum, your dad, your gran, your great-gran, and it just takes us back, doesn't it? So I love old footage. How about you guys? Do you feel that way? Do you just want to be taken back, teleported back to your childhood? Who wants that? Because I do, and we're going to do it together. Yeah, come on, Colleen. It's the most special thing, isn't it? The most special thing is sat in our lounge at home, mum and dad, brother and sister, cousins, your dog, your cat, yeah? And you got an old TV with only 3 channels, a black and white TV maybe, 3 channels, and the world just felt different. The world just felt different, and we want to go there. So let's all go back in time together, guys. Let's get in our time machine. Let's go back to the 70s, the 60s, some of you in the 50s, maybe a few in the 80s, and let's get on our sofa and let's just enjoy it. Okay? Are we up for that? The good old days. Let's do it together. Are you ready, Team Elvis? Here we go. Defending Elvis Presley, fans want the truth. I found some old clips, some vintage clips of people talking about Elvis and how they felt, what caused his untimely death. Let's listen together, guys.
He was comedian Jackie Kahane. I asked Jackie what contributed to Elvis's death.
I think there was no more challenge for Elvis. He was bored sitting home. He wanted to work 31 days a month, and he just couldn't. His weight, he had a hard time. He had a difficult time with his weight. And I don't think he was well.
This is what we're discovering. Defending Elvis Presley, fans want the truth. Elvis was a very proud man. He kept his chronic illnesses to himself. And this friend of Elvis says, I don't think he was very well. This to me just proves Elvis kept his chronic illnesses a secret. He was a very sick man. Let's keep listening.
He wasn't well.
Why did he have such a hard time with his weight, Jackie?
Well, primarily, he was a junk food eater. He'd eat pizzas and ice cream and things, and he'd go on a diet. And people who have weight problems, can really commiserate with him and understand him much more than people who don't have these problems.
And this is exactly why we are called Defending Elvis Presley. It's ridiculous. This man honestly believes that Elvis just binged on pizzas and ice cream, and that was his problem. How would this man know? Elvis had serious constipation. He had a twisted colon. he had some very chronic illnesses affecting his body throughout, but because he kept it secret, people automatically blame binge eating and medication. They never knew the truth. So this is what's happened for the last 47 years. People blame Elvis's health problems on binge eating of cheeseburgers, etc. This is so far from the truth. This man was taking over 40 prescribed medications a day, but hiding the fact that he was seriously sick, very, very unwell. Let's keep listening.
The last posed photo of Elvis was taken with Jackie. On August 16th, at the age of 42, the same his mother was when she died of a heart attack, Elvis's heart gave out.
And he just says it in a few words. Elvis's heart gave out. I wish it was that simple. This poor man, this legend, who because of many, many chronic conditions that he had that made him extremely sick and unwell, this poor man didn't understand why his body was letting him down and didn't know what to do and was so desperate. I wish it was as simple as just saying that his heart gave out. But this isn't the truth, guys. He seriously had medical problems that were unfixable. The medication was not working. And now, information is now coming out now that is showing us that he kept it a secret and that his illnesses were very, very serious. And the medication wasn't going to fix him. This poor man was in incredible pain and discomfort and was desperate to try and fix himself, but didn't know who to turn to and how to fix himself. And this is why we're called Defending Elvis Presley, because we're trying to find out exactly what was wrong with Elvis. But they still just call him a drug addict, which is so unfair because it's far from the truth. Yes, he was addicted to his prescribed medications. But the real truth, the hidden truth, is that this man's whole body had given up. And we want to know why. Let's keep watching, guys.
Millions had lost their all-time hero, the symbol of their generation, the one they called the King. Regis, how can you measure his impact? Well, there are various ways, Chuck. None of them are conclusive, of course, but all of them are mind-boggling. For example, if we relied on statistics, the day after Elvis Presley died, more than 20 million of his albums were sold around the country. That's 20 million in one day. Most artists will never sell that many in an entire career.
And to the Elvis fans, this is no surprise. 21 million in a day. Most artists can't achieve that kind of success. And 47 years later, Elvis is bigger than ever.
Another criterion is the fanatical worship by his fans, the idolatry that still lingers today. At any given hour, day or night, you can find the morbidly curious and the genuinely heartbroken keeping a vigil outside of the palatial Presley home called Graceland in the Whitehaven section of Memphis. I met with his fans who come from all over the country, as well as from foreign countries, just to look at the well-manicured 14 acres or to leave their messages along the graffiti-filled wall. There isn't one stone or brick that doesn't have some sort of love message or maudlin sentiment. At one time, a feeble attempt was made to discourage the graffiti, but the outpouring of sincere affection was so overwhelming, the Presley family now encourages the scribbling.
Let's have a listen to this vintage footage from the fans who dearly miss him and love him.
What brings you here this morning?
Well, to remember Elvis Presley as he was.
Yeah. Where are you from?
Lombard, Illinois.
On vacation?
On a honeymoon. Oh. And I just wanted to remember the way he was, and he'll always live on, as far as I'm concerned.
What are your thoughts?
It's sad. Definitely sad. I didn't expect this. The life wanted to come down more than I did, but sad feeling.
Long-time Presley fan, are you?
Very beginning, yes.
Yeah.
Very beginning.
Did you think you were going to be this affected here?
No, I didn't think so yesterday because we were excited to get here. I think the feeling now is it's finally hit. He's not going to be here anymore. And that's sad. That hurts.
And did the fans back there in 1977 realise just how much shock it would cause? How much outpouring of love and grief would be caused by Elvis Presley's sudden passing? I don't think so. We now know that Elvis' impact on the world was fantastic. We understand the loss, but back then it was so sudden. I think everyone was in shock and just trying to take in what happened. Let's keep listening.
Graceland was built in 1934. Presley bought it in 1957 for $100,000. It has 18 rooms, quarters adjacent to the main home for Presley's parents. There's also a mausoleum on the grounds where Elvis and his mom are now buried. The street that Graceland is located on is Bellevue, but this portion has been changed to Elvis Presley Boulevard. On the other side of the street, directly opposite those beautiful grounds, is a busy shopping center. Until recently, the parking lot was overflowing with souvenir hawkers, but the Presley family managed to get the hawkers moved a quarter of a mile up Elvis Presley Boulevard on the other side of the Presley property line. The weekend, I met with Ken. Close to 8,000 tourists had stopped off at his camper and sifted through an endless variety of Elvis memorabilia.
That's the end of our little short clip. I just love this vintage 1970s footage filmed around the time when Elvis had passed away. I just find it so interesting, and it almost takes us back to 1977. Almost makes us feel like we're still there, somehow still connected to that fateful day in August the 16th, 1977. But very interesting footage as well, and the way the fans truly loved Elvis then and still today really touches me. So thanks, guys, here from Defending Elvis Presley. Fans want the truth. Please join us, Team Elvis. Help us defend Elvis Presley and get to the truth, what really happens. Thanks, guys. Have a great day. That's that, guys. So, what did you think? What did you think? It took me a couple of hours to put it together, but I really mean what I say, guys. I just love being teleported back to those days. Tracy says, the media never portray him correctly. I think it's because Elvis was very private and didn't play the media games, giving lots of interviews. I bet it infuriated them. And we've heard that Colonel Tom Parker went out of his way to not allow Elvis to do free interviews. And also, Colonel Tom Parker really did push the fact that he wanted teenage fans after him. Felt that would be good for his career. Now, I think that was good and bad, wasn't it? So, the thing I noticed when I was making that video clip, which I think is about 9 minutes long, is that even when you listen, I'm guessing that was obviously probably 1977, yeah? That was filmed. I don't know, yeah? And they're speaking to a comedian guy that was a friend of Elvis. I don't know who that guy was. But now this comedian guy, do any of you know who he was? But classes himself as a close friend of Elvis and feels that he can speak on behalf of Elvis. And basically said, and this is what makes me know that Elvis was so private and kept his illnesses to himself. This close friend of Elvis, who thought he knew Elvis really well enough to speak on his behalf, said, the reason Elvis was so overweight was because he binged on pizzas and ice cream. Pizzas and ice cream. Now, I've never heard of Elvis binging on pizzas. Has any of you ever heard that Elvis binged on pizzas and ice cream? And he blamed that for Elvis becoming so overweight and so unwell, yeah, and dying of a heart attack. So now that's a friend in 1977 who was with him. Yeah, we know he didn't binge on pizzas and ice cream. we know, because we've done our research, we've put some time into it, and because we're from a different decade, because we were able to look at the information that has been slowly released to us over the last 40 years, that Elvis was seriously and chronically unwell. In every part of Elvis's body had let him down. Elvis was desperate, and that he seriously needed his medication, his prescribed medication. This is why Dr. Nick was around. This is why he had a full-time nurse. And this is why he was taking over 40 tablets a day, because everything wasn't working. To put it bluntly, he wasn't working. He was broken. So Elvis was desperate, trying to try anything, shoveling the pills down his throat with the hope of relieving his pain, his discomfort, his insomnia, his glaucoma. He was aching all over from head to toe. He had no energy. Yeah. But Elvis was such a proud man that he wouldn't have told his comedian friend, "Oh, I'm really sick. I'm weak. I need help. Please, someone help me." Elvis wouldn't do that. So the comedian who doesn't know any better, who's surprised and shocked that Elvis suddenly put on a lot of weight the last 3 years, puts it down to him binging on pizza, ice cream, and taking drugs. Yeah? So do you get where I'm going with it, guys? And this has been repeated again and again and they're still saying it today. Even today, if you Google it or you try and look up some short video clips, they'll say the same thing. He was binging on cheeseburgers, he died on the toilet, and he was taking recreational drugs to get stoned, to get high. How wrong are they? How wrong are they? And this is why we are called Defending Elvis Presley Fans Want the Truth. So I'm going to move on and do a part 3 of the medical history video, but I'm not going to do it now. I might try and get back on later to do it. But today I just want to concentrate more on the archive footage, because I want to carry on playing some more of that particular video that I found. That section I've just played to you was only about 5 minutes long, and then I added me talking. So let's just read your comments. Just want to move this a bit over to here so I don't have to keep looking across. So obviously I've posted that video now, so you guys can go onto the video section of YouTube. I will also post it on TikTok, on Facebook, on X, and on Instagram, but I'll do it later. There's no rush. The main one I always like to get it on my YouTube channel, Defending Elvis Presley. So let's just have a look at some of your comments. So, what was we talking about? We was talking about it's nice to feel like we felt when we were kids. And this is why I love the archive footage. Right, let's have a look then, guys. So, where are we? The teenage fans was only for the 1950s and 60s. That was because of the first time in history teenagers had money to buy records and memorabilia, and Parker was a canny carny. Yep, that's okay. Yeah, that's true, Tracy. Let's have a look. I don't see how those people could look at him and not see how sick he was. No, Stacey, they could see how sick he was. They could see it, but they put it down to him that he was a druggie and binging on burgers. This is the mistake. They felt that he was self-sabotaging, like, his own worst enemy. And no, I don't see it like that. As Defending Elvis with Team Elvis, I see that Elvis was fighting a battle. He was fighting a battle. He was trying to do anything to get himself better. He had the doctors medicating him. He had the nurses looking after him. He was putting himself into hospitals. He was trying alternative treatments elsewhere, which obviously in the end ended up being a big mistake with the acupuncture. I think Elvis was really trying to seek out a way of getting better. Let's have a look. Let's just... Oh, thanks, Lisa or Lessa. Are you with us? Let me just say, we're live. We're live. So you get what I'm saying to you guys, that I just think it's mixed. How can I say it? The people that were close to him, they put him on a pedestal. It was Elvis, the legend, the king. The guy. Don't forget, he'd had a brilliant run. Obviously, we know about his career through the 50s and 60s. He had a brilliant upturn as well in Vegas, in the earlier years of Vegas. Well, he was a sellout right until he died. But my point is, it seemed like Elvis could do no wrong with this amazing 68 comeback special. Then you got the Vegas comeback. So around 74, Elvis was still looking quite good, dressed amazing. And you see those interviews in him, just looking cool, showing off his belt. Do you remember the belt? And he says, I plead innocent of all charges. Do any of you remember that interview? I plead innocent of all charges. He was still looking great, guys. Wasn't that around 73? Yeah. So most of Elvis's life, really right until he was his late 30s, I would say as late as 39, he was still looking great. Yeah, he had filled out a bit. His face was a bit, I would say, a bit puffier. He still was super handsome, super charming, great in interviews. So then there was this sudden turn where his stomach started protruding more. He looked puffy. His hands had swollen. You could clearly see that he wasn't well. But I reckon in the last 18 months, so really not until he was in his 40s, did he start to, where the public could see something's wrong. Something's wrong. There kept being news releases, news reports, breaking news. Elvis is in hospital. Then they would have the camera footage pointing up at the Memorial Hospital, Baptist Memorial, and the windows are blocked out with silver foil. Now, why did Elvis block out the windows with silver foil? The news, the public tried to make him out like he was a weirdo, but no. Sunlight hurt his eyes. Elvis had glaucoma. Sunlight was very painful for Elvis, so he had to block out the windows because he was in severe pain. They were even injecting into the center of his eye. This glaucoma was very, very serious. So the sunlight was painful. He wasn't a weirdo to blocking out the sunlight. He wasn't a vampire. The reason Elvis lived his life at night was because he couldn't go anywhere. Elvis couldn't go anywhere without being mobbed. We know this, yeah? And so he had to, anything he wanted to do had to be done at night. So Elvis was no weirdo. He was just the most famous man on the planet. His body had let him down. He was desperately trying to seek help with medication, doctors, nurses, alternative therapies. He couldn't stand the lights. So I think in 1975 and 6 and 7, he was very misunderstood. He was treated like an addict that was binge eating, when the truth is he was just very sick and he had to live an upside down life, and the pain for his eyes was causing him to block out the windows. It's pretty simple when you break it down, isn't it, guys? So let's just look at some of your comments. I don't see how these people could look at him and not see how, yeah. So they should plaster his true health issues all over the news. Yeah. And do you know what? Even if we did, because there's more books going to come out about Elvis's health complications, not just with his own health, with his mother and his grandparents and his bloodline. Even if it did, even it comes up, people don't believe it. People, the average person on the street wants to believe the stuff that they've been brainwashed to believe. The Elvis and Me book, the binge eating of burgers, that he was an addict to get high, and he was fat because he just spent all his time eating. That's what they want to believe, guys. Now, the fans, us, Team Elvis, the fans around the world, the fans that are all watching all the Elvis YouTube channels and Instagram and TikTok and Facebook, all the rest, we want to know. We want to know because we care. Remember, we feel like we know Elvis. We feel that he's part of us. We feel connected to Elvis. We feel protective towards Elvis, almost like he's a brother, an uncle. Some of us see him as a father figure. We want to protect Elvis, and our way of protecting Elvis is to defend him through the comments, through all the channels, through all the internet, social media channels. That's our only way. There is no other way to defend Elvis until we get a bigger platform. Now, if the news companies would listen to us, would hear us out, so we could go on to Sky News and the big networks and show some evidence, show some proof, show our research, I think people would start to listen. But that's only going to happen if we grow, which is why we want more subscribers, we want more members, we want more channels becoming Defending Elvis channels. Because really, if you really think about it, Defending Elvis channels is probably only about under 10. Do you agree with that? Is there even 10? How many Defending Elvis channels do you think there are? I'm asking you guys. Obviously, we are Defending Elvis. Shauna is, definitely. Rhonda is, 100%. Then we've got Rare Elvis Photos. I forget his name. How many other channels are Defending Elvis? Seriously, can I ask you that now? I'll just quickly read your comments. So Trey says he was starting to experience serious health issues, hence the hospitalization, trying to figure out what was happening if he had MRIs back then. Yeah. The world knew something was wrong. I think I think the world was getting ready for an announcement that he was going to die. I think they were. Yeah, Baptist Memorial Hospital. And there's footage. I probably could find it. I'll have a look now, actually, guys. Colleen says, I have one eye that the pressure goes up just a little in the mid-20s, and I have the pain, and Elvis in the 80s. I can't imagine how painful it would have been. And they say that's why he loved the sunglasses. You know. So, hi, Michael. Elvis, my family, my friend, I love Elvis so much. Too right. Of course we do, Teresa. So my point is, when it comes to the Defending Elvis Presley channels, there's not enough of us. There needs to be more of us. We need hundreds of Defending Elvis channels. Yeah? This is how we grow. This is how we get our message out there. The more people that defend Elvis, we may make a difference one day. And ultimately, we have to interview the big names, don't we? We need to interview people we need to get in the arena with people like Piers Morgan. We do. So we can have our voice. I'd do it. I would do it, guys. I would do it because it needs to be done. Otherwise, we're going to spend the next 10 years just talking to each other, which is great. We love talking to each other. We're Team Elvis. We're together every day. But we need more than that. But Linda, we definitely have made a difference. And I'll tell you why I think we've made a difference. So I'm just trying to read your messages. Hi, Yvette. Hi, Helen. Hi, Gio. Hi, Deborah. Hi, Linda, Helen, Lorna, Colleen, Jean. I'll tell you why I think we've made a difference. Because now when I'm listening around to other Elvis channels, I hear the words Defending Elvis. They're not always talking about us. But I hear the words Defending Elvis. I hear, blah, 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 Defending Elvis. Da, 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 da. You know, obviously, we've had a few mentions from some nice channels, haven't we? Yeah? And I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. So, you know, even Jack Sodden, you guys know who Jack Sodden is, and he did his small little speech at Graceland on Elvis Week. He said, there seems to be more people talking about Elvis's legacy. There seems to be more people talking about Elvis's legacy. Did you guys hear that? I'll just wait for you. Yeah. So Jane, did you hear him say that? There seems to be more people talking about Elvis's legacy. And do you know what I thought? Now, is it just me wishful thinking? But I thought he's watched one of our videos. Seriously. Does anyone agree with me? Go on. Be honest with me, or am I just wishful thinking? Yeah, Sandra does. I just think it was a funny thing for him to say. There's more people talking about Elvis's legacy. He only spoke for about 30 seconds, didn't he? It was a very short thing that he said. And I remember thinking, we might have broke a bit of ice. So, right, let's carry on with that footage. So I liked that. I thought, I'll go with that. I'll take that to the bank. So, I think a lot of people have checked it out, and I've seen it mentioned on a few channels bringing attention to it. It's marketing. They monitor social media. Louis, you said it would be okay to, sorry, I just got to let the next person comment so I can read that comment. Right, so I am going to go back.
John Lawrence reports on one scene in London today.
Right, hang on.
Calling for young Presley in 19 and stay.
Okay, let's just read your comments a minute. You said that it would be okay to PM you with suggestions. Am I okay? Of course, Kelly Dan, of course. Kelly, are you on my Facebook? Let me just put my name in. Any of you can friend me on Facebook. Any of you. I always know if you're genuine people because I check out your profiles and you've got pictures of Elvis on it. So that's how I know. Right, I'm not gonna put it on yet. Let's just move this over a bit. I'll put it on in a second. Let's read your comments. So, yes. So, Kelly Dan, 100%, definitely. All of you, seriously, guys, always send me information. Always. I'm not going to promise you that I'm going to use it, but I will promise you this: I do read or watch all of it. And I pick and choose the stuff that I think is Tino shouting. I pick and choose the stuff that I think, yes, that gets me going. That sparks me. I don't pick. There's some things that I don't do because I just find it boring. I try and pick out the things that excite me. Yeah. And sometimes I'll come back to things. All right. Okay. Yeah. Kelly Dan. Yes, please. You already have. Brilliant. Right. Let's have a look. Kelly Dan, what name are you under? Because sometimes it could be a different name than is on here. So Mary, have I missed Mary's comments? Mary says he might have. It's not far fetched. Have I missed something? Yeah, come on, Deborah. Come on, he knows about us. A new package only 6,000 for 4 people who really can't afford that. I'm sorry, guys, but let me just move this wire out of my face. I have heard a few people saying that there are some things that are good value at Graceland because Rhonda said it on her show. And a couple of other people said it. I think it was someone on here said they had been recently. And if you choose the right package, that there is some good value things at Graceland. But this $6,000, I think, I think maybe Shauna and Rhonda mentioned this tour. I just think it's crazy. Is it an 8-hour tour and it's a maximum of 4 people? Is that right? It lasts, and they can do 2 lots of 4 people. Is that right? Come on, guys, can't afford that. Who can afford that? And did they do something that was a bit, oh, that's it. If it's 4 people, they can share the cost between 4 of them. So it's not 6,000 per person. You can have 4 people on the tour. So 1,500 each? It's still a lot of money, isn't it, guys? I think Rhonda said she was going to save up for it. Oh, come on, they're not. That isn't in tune to Joe Weishanker. If you ever watch our show, Defending Elvis, fans want the truth. You're not in tune with us, my friend. If you're going to start charging $1,500 per person per tour, maximum of 4 people on a tour. I think it was 2 tours a day they're going to do maximum. I just think, come on, my friend. Elvis wouldn't have wanted that. Elvis would have wanted things good value. Not just the tour, not just to get into Gracelands and to see the museum, but also the food, the memorabilia, the artifact, all the stuff that's for sale, pictures. And Elvis would have wanted it good value. And to be honest with you, you'll sell more. I'm a believer that a shop that has good value has better customers and happy customers. Happy customers. So let's have a look. Yes, I thought that too, Louis. Jack Soden talking about defending Elvis. Yes, let's just stick with that, Helen. I'm going to go with that. I can't prove it, but yeah. Yeah, she did. Yeah, Rhonda did say there is an affordable way of doing it. She also said she's going to save up her pennies to get the $1,500 together to go on the tour, which is quite sweet. I do think, Colleen, it's quite an in-depth tour. I think it includes a horse ride around Gracelands, and a few other bits. And I think it's a bit behind the scenes tour as well. So I think it's probably quite a good experience. But how many of us can afford that, guys? How many of us can afford $1,500? Almost no one, I would say. We got bills to pay, haven't we? Come on, times are tough. Inflation is up. Our mortgage payments are up. Our electricity is up. Our gas is up. Our food costs are up. Everything's up. So we can't throw $1,500 plus traveling expenses plus food to go to Gracelands for 7 hours, whatever the tour is. You can ride the golf cart. Oh, yes, ride the golf carts. Private dinner. You visit, Mary's stable, and I think the name of the stable is called Mary's. I did listen to that on Rhonda's show. 7 hours. So Jean knows. Jean's watched. Jean, you've watched Rhonda, yeah? Or was it Shauna? One of them, or both. Yeah. Come on, we have priorities. When it comes to money, we got priorities. Even me, I've got some quite tough household bills to pay. My wages are limited, so I have to make everything fit. I can't just be throwing $1,500 at Graceland for one person. Remember, for one person. If I went, it would have to be at least me and my wife. I will have to save my pennies to be a Presley for a day. It is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. I agree with Rhonda. Yes, Helen, if you're one person. But what if there's 4 of you? What if you're a whole family? Different story. This is the problem. I agree. If it's just one person, great. But if there's more of you, it's not happening. 15. I think it's dollars, Helen. Pretty sure it's dollars. Deborah, I wish they would do that for the barn. Right. So, Linda, there's no way you could afford that. The flight alone would be too expensive. Very true, Stacey. Chilling, I think it's 6,000 for a party of 4. That's right, Linda. $6,000. Let's have a look. Not much is left for the end of the month. Times are tough, guys. Times are tough. And my kids, I don't know what the kids are like in America, but the kids now, they want everything paid for. See, when I was a kid, I'll put this out to you guys. When I was a kid growing up in the 80s, no, that's not true. I'll rephrase that. I knew that I had to work very young. My dad, even when I was 11 years old, had me working in his cafe. Yeah? So I knew I had to work. So I was working. I had a washing up job when I was 12 years old. When I was 13, I was working full time for my dad. So now in 2024, that is unheard of. Now, 18 years old, they're still not working. 18 years old, they're still not working. They still want the parents to pay for everything. So is it the same in America? Kids are different now. Kids are different. We knew we had to leave school, go to work. Was it the same in America? Leave school, go to work. Now it's not like that. Now it's like education has been extended. The kids now are being educated into their 20s. So they then expect the parents, maybe even relatives, uncles and aunties, great grandparents, to now pay for everything. So kids are different now. Kids are different. Yes, it does. Let's have a look. My sister went when it first opened. It was $5. She still has her ticket. Oh, fair play, Deborah. I know it's $5. I've seen the videos. Right. My sister went. Let's have a look. I worked for my dad's restaurant at 14 and babysat 11 years old. Colleen, that was the norm, wasn't it? That was the norm. You'll laugh at this, guys. I left home when I was 15. I left home when I was 15. I rented a room in a house with my friends when I was 15 years old. I was working in a garage as a trainee mechanic at 15. 15. You say that to your kids now, they laugh at you. They laugh at you like kids now don't leave home until they're 25. But I also worked in my dad's cafe. So they do coach trips from the UK as a package deal, which are quite reasonable. I'm not sure if I could sit on a coach for as long as, Tracy, I had my first weekend job at 12 years old, never stopped working until I retired. Tracy. Now, come on, let's face it, Tracy. Working at 12 wasn't unusual in the 70s and 80s. It's pretty normal, I think. I loved it. I was a washer-upper in a cafe, same age, 12, yeah. I loved it. I loved working. I loved having money. Money was important to me. So there we are. Colleen left home at 17. It's funny because I had a girlfriend when I was 16 and she had a flat. I had a girlfriend when I was 16 and she had a flat and I would stay at her flat. Yeah. That's unheard of now. That is unheard of. Now, 25, they leave home. So Joel Washington should throw in a pink Cadillac for me. Helen, I like that. Yeah, Joel Washington, throw in a pink Cadillac, $1,500. How dare you? Now, I can tell Joe Washington is a good guy, but he's a bit out of touch. Come on, he's too rich. Too rich. You don't understand us poor people. You need to come out of the clouds, cloud go up and see us. Then it can be come on, a couple of $100 for a tour. You get the thumbs up. $1,500 per person, thumbs down. We need reality, my friend. Let's have a look what we got here. Let's have a look. So Melissa, hi Melissa, you're awake then. I went to Graceland over 10 years ago. It was expensive then. The prices will keep going up every year, unfortunately. Too much of this. And look, I'm not going to lie to you guys. The Jack Sodden speech was too short. Very cold, I thought. Now, Joel Weishanker, I can tell it comes from the heart. He has big plans for the future. He was very proudly talking about his plans that he has for Graceland, for Elvis Presley Enterprises. But I do think he's lost touch with the fans. And I know that he kept saying, we're going to do what Elvis would have wanted. I do make mistakes, we're going what the fans want, all that. But because unfortunately, the bottom line is money, shareholders, profits. Yeah. And it's not just the way I've seen it set up. It's not one company running everything. you have Elvis Presley Enterprises, but then you have lots of small companies running all the different bits. Even Elvis Presley Enterprises are in charge of Graceland. I know that Riley Q and the twins are owners of the trust and of Graceland and the land around Graceland and the museum, but it is run and controlled by EPE, by Elvis Presley Enterprises. How many of you knew that? So let's have a look. Okay. I used to have a paper route. Yeah. And Gio, that was the norm, wasn't it? It was the norm. We went out and earned our money. Our parents couldn't afford to give us free money to do whatever. My God, I have to pay for so many things. Football, ballet, trampolining. There's so many different things you're paying for that have nothing to do with food and clothing and electric and gas and internet, council tax. There's so many things. Me too. Babysat at 11:13. This is Kelly Dan. Doing night feeds, babysitting at 13, and still got up for school because of my money. And then let's have a look. So Tree says he would leave everything alone. Money, money, money. Then Deborah. And then we got, what is he going to do about? Yeah, and I've heard about this. I'm guessing Whitehaven is in the center of Memphis. Is that right? Tell me exactly where Whitehaven is. Is it near Elvis Presley Boulevard? You tell me, guys. Yeah, I left home 15 years old. 15, I left home. Crazy. Don't forget, my dad was, how can I say it? That generation hit their kids. So I was very glad I left home. You are skilled in so many things. Right. I didn't trust anyone with my girls other than family through babysitting in the 90s. And I babysat, and it's still my best friend today. And the kids are like my own. Oh, that's nice. That's nice, Kelly Dan. Deborah, that's so funny. My son owns equipment. He started at 3, and now my granddaughter drives a backhoe, and she's 4. All right. And sometimes they come back. Right. It would be kind to Elvis if Elvis Presley Enterprises would reduce the price due to the rising cost of living. That ain't never happening, Tracy. I would give a dime to Joel, Riley, Lockwood, or anybody. I wouldn't. You know my views, guys. Elvis Presley Enterprises should not exist. It should be bloodline only. Bloodline only. All this selling to these billionaire companies that are just there for profit, no. Should never have happened, and I do blame Priscilla. I do blame Priscilla for the sell-off of Elvis Presley Enterprises. 100%. I know it's 85%, don't care. Should not have happened. And the funny thing is, it happened more than once. Has it been sold 3 times? I'm sure it's changed hands. I know one of the billionaires went bust. Is it Phil Silliman? He went bust. And then I think that's the point when Joe Weishanker jumps in, and should have happened, guys. You've got Joe Weishanker who literally has nothing to do with the family. There is no blood relation, talking on behalf of Elvis. So I'll tell you what, I'll give you $500 million, and then I can be in charge of Elvis. I'll be the boss of Elvis. Just because I had £500 million. It ain't fair. It's not right. It is not right. We want people. I would rather see a fan. Yeah, in charge of Graceland and EPE than Joe Weishanker. Because I don't care what anyone says. I know Joe Weishanker, it's in his interest to want the best for Elvis Presley Enterprises, for Gracelands and Riley and the twins. But he ain't no fan. I can tell the difference. I don't mean that horribly. I mean, I just know when someone's a fan, I can tell. What do you think, guys? Do you think Joe Weishanker is a fan? Now, I'm not saying he's a bad person. He's probably a lovely person. But he ain't a proper fan. You tell me, guys. Now, I do think Bill Silliman was a fan. He went bust, didn't he? He was a bit strange, wasn't he? He's a bit out there, crazy, Bill Silliman. Right. I was my dad's tomboy. I have 4 sisters, 1 brother, and I was tough. My brother was black belt in karate, and yes, I took lessons. Cool. I like that, Deborah. Graceland prices are P take for normal people. I'm not sure what that means. Are P take for normal people. Right, then we've got... Yes, I think that's great that they can work heavy equipment. Where are we? Tomboys do boy stuff, Deborah. Haha. Right, let's have a look. Colleen, people were more trustworthy back in the day. I think they were. It was just different, wasn't it, guys? Elvis would never charge his fans that kind of money. I agree, Gene. I agree. Definitely would not. Teresa, I blame Priscilla for everything. Oh, that's just funny. I blame Priscilla for everything. Guys, is there anyone else on here that blames Priscilla for everything? Oh, that's so funny. That makes me laugh. Judith, ticket prices at Graceland are too high. Regular folks. Diane, I know that Joel was close to Lisa Marie, but come on. Lisa Marie was Lisa Marie. It was Elvis's daughter. Of course he loved her. Of course he was close to her. She's like a block of gold. A massive chunk of gold. Come on. That ain't love. In my opinion. I have no respect for people like Riley mocking fans. I've been on both sides. Most fans are sincerely devoted. The music is very personal. I mean so much to them. I agree. Unfortunately, no disrespect to Joel Weishankar. He's a businessman. He's an entrepreneur. He's had a lot of success. I've read a few of his interviews, watched a few of his interviews. He was very, very successful in his early 20s. We're talking about a very wealthy, successful man here, and probably self-made as well. So it's going to always come down to the bottom line, dollars. It is. I think that this thing where he got the ABC news team to come in and complain about Bridget Cruz and the auction company and Priscilla writing the letters out, adding authenticity to these items that were being sold at auction. I think Joel Weishankar has been very sneaky. Very sneaky. He's trying to rock the boat. He's trying to cause problems for Priscilla and for Bridget Cruz. So do we like that? Maybe we do. But it's very interesting. CR, well, it's forced between having butter coffee with Pris or Joe. I'd take Joe. Interesting. Now, I'd love to sit across the table with Priscilla. Come on. I could ask her some right good questions. In Bristol language, I could ask her some good questions. Be Gert Lash. Weishankar fired Priscilla after Lisa Marie went to him about Priscilla pillaging Lisa Marie's inheritance. He can't be all bad. Mary, hi Mary. I'm not saying Joel Weishankar is all bad. I'm telling you now, Mary, he seems like a nice guy. I don't think he's a bad person. He probably has a good heart, but he's a businessman. Yeah. Now, Barry Siegel, are you talking about? He didn't really sack Priscilla, did he? He got rid of Barry Siegel. Getting rid of Barry Siegel sort of got rid of Priscilla. I actually think Lisa Marie got rid of Priscilla because Priscilla was going mad, took out a lawsuit against Barry Siegel, the manager, and this outed Priscilla. Yeah. So that story, we've actually done a few live streams on that story, Mary. It's quite complicated. The bottom line is Lisa Marie found them out. I think it was actually Marco Garibaldi that grassed up Barry Siegel and Priscilla, their sly attempt to extort money out of Elvis Presley Enterprises. Don't forget, a lot of money was squandered, wasn't it? 50 to 100 million squandered on this American Idol investment that went wrong. High risk investments that involved Priscilla, Barry Siegel. Joel Weishanker jumped in there and helped save the day, didn't he? So it's complicated, Mary. It's complicated. But I do want to make it clear. I'm not against Joel Weishanker. I'm just saying he's a businessman. Money comes first. And yes, it's in his interest to have been very close to Lisa Marie, in my opinion. In the same way that it's in Jerry Schilling's interest to be very close to Priscilla. Now, many of you love Jerry Schilling, but Jerry Schilling is in an awkward position because for the last 40 odd years, he's had to stay very close to Priscilla because it benefits him financially. Now, he's a good friend with Priscilla. He's a good friend with Lisa Marie, very close friend with Lisa Marie. But it's difficult, guys, because there's money in the middle of it. There's money in the pot. So how genuine can a friendship be when there's money involved? It's difficult. I've been in business my whole life, guys, and I tell you now, I've fallen out with a few good friends because of money. Money makes people see you differently. Close friends that you've spent your whole life with, and you suddenly become wealthy, they see you differently. So it's not a straightforward situation. Yeah, let's all blame Priscilla. Woohoo! No, I'm not going to do that. Deborah, nothing like the villa's brain is there. She's so elderly. Apparently, all of a sudden, right. Lisa did not want anything to do with her mother. I agree when it comes to by the time they got to the Barry Siegel problems, which I think was around 2015. Yeah. Where the lawsuit was over Barry Siegel's control, management, should I say, squandered all that money and all these failed investments. I do think that they would, from what I can hear, from what I've read, there was an 8-year feud between Lisa Marie and Priscilla. And then I think they were talking again during the launching of the Baz Luhrmann film, Elvis, Austin Butler's Elvis. But I think then they fell out again over the Priscilla film, Sofia Coppola's film. We know that Lisa Marie did not want that film made, was very upset with her mother, and behind the scenes there's even a possibility that Lisa Marie was going to serve a lawsuit on her own mother, only an opinion. And then obviously poor Lisa Marie, God rest her soul, passes away, and then Priscilla Presley goes ahead and lets the film be launched and supports the film fully. And wasn't she executive producer as well? So we know, as Elvis fans, we know that film should never have been released, and Priscilla should never have supported that film. We know that film made Elvis look bad, portrayed Elvis in a very bad light. We, as Elvis fans and Team Elvis, we are very upset that film was ever made. So there's a whole story there, isn't there? You've just mentioned Michael Edwards. Come on, guys. He had sexual feelings for Lisa Marie. So he's a weirdo. Yeah? But his book does expose some dark secrets about Priscilla. How many of you have read the Michael Edwards book? There's things in there that he says about Priscilla, many things actually, that expose another side to Priscilla. Let's have a look. Yeah, we know about Blanchard Tulle. We know that he saved the day. He got rid of the Colonel, didn't he? He got rid of Colonel Tom Parker because Priscilla allowed Colonel Tom Parker to carry on, and Vernon, to carry on being in charge of Graceland. And then Blanchard Tulle smelt a rat and made everything get investigated, insisted on an investigation into the deal that Elvis had, this 50-50 deal that Elvis had that was completely unfair. And Blanchard Tulle is known as a hero for sorting that situation out. And as far as I know, they paid off the Colonel. They gave him $2 million to go away. It's a much more complicated story than that. But we've done a live stream on it, haven't we? I do agree. Colleen, Priscilla needs to just be a grandmother. Stop being ambitious. Stop trying to make money. I did notice that she's just released. She's on my Instagram, guys. Let's have a look. Let's go to my Instagram. Instagram. Here we go. Is that the one there? Let's have a look. Let's have a look.
Be hip. It would be something that I think they would love, and something a little bit different.
Let's start from the beginning, shall we? I always right.
Would I ever consider designing clothes again with my partner or a partner?
Hey, Priscilla girl. So it's a bit of a coincidence that the girls, I can't remember the YouTube channel now. I've done an interview with Biss and Bo, the clothing salon, and it's a bit of a coincidence that Priscilla is now saying she would consider relaunching a clothing brand with Biss and Bo. With Biss and Bo, she said she would consider it.
My dreams ain't life shattering at the sea. I actually have thought about it, but I'm actually too busy to really, get focused on designing because my life is very full right now. But maybe one day, if I were to design or get back into designing clothes, I would definitely focus on the younger generation. Make me retreat.
Interesting though, because they've just done the interview with Priscilla's partner, Olivia Biss. Is it those Elvis girls? So it's a bit of a coincidence how that interview was done last night, and then she released this, I think, last night as well, or a couple of nights ago, saying that she would consider launching a clothing brand with Biss and Bo. Interesting. Right, guys, I'm going to have to shoot off. I will try and come back. I'm going to have some dinner. I'm going to shoot off. After dinner, I might come back. We'll see. So I'm going to have to say goodbye to everyone. We've been on for over an hour and 10 minutes. So we've had a brilliant live stream. Really enjoyed it, guys. Chatting with you guys. Loved it. So I'm sending you all love. My wife wants me to go in and have dinner with her. And I'm hungry. I'm going to have some meat. Meat and eggs, guys. Meat and eggs. Ooh, fatty meat and eggs. So I hope you've enjoyed this chat. It's been great. I'll be back on. I'm gonna. I might want to come back. If I come back, I'm hoping I will. I'm gonna do the part 3 of Elvis's medical health problems. Part 3 of Elvis's medical health problems. This is my plan. Okay, guys. So sending you love. Bye, everyone. Bye, everyone. Thanks all so much for joining me. Please subscribe, any new people. Please become a member. Please don't be shy. If you're watching now and you haven't joined in on the chat, please join in. You're very welcome. Team Elvis, we are very welcoming to new people. We encourage people to join us and become part of Team Elvis. We really do want you to join us. We will be very friendly to you. So all the best to everyone. I'm going to have to go, guys. Taking care of business. Thanks, Team Elvis. Team Elvis, you rock. Team Elvis, you rock. Thank you very much. Take care, guys. I'll give you a wave.